Tala Fionga, Tuilaʻepa Dr. Saʻilele Malielegaoi. Welcome to the Pacific.
Thank you.
You have not released costings as to how these promises will be paid. Can you elaborate on how this will be done?
I'm seeing a lot of businesses, they continue growing and growing and growing. And you wonder, where is the money from? I am sure they are not paying the proper tax. And so we have done all this. And all that needs to do is to encourage better implementation of the laws. So that answers your question.
HRPP has made great but bold promises to the Samoan people about what you will be able to achieve should you be elected. You're looking at cash payouts, tax reductions, and the biggest of them all is a bridge from Upolu all the way to Savai. Now, when HRPP was in power, why were these policies not considered during your term? And why now?
It is exactly like New Zealand. You start with this, and then you get the wishes of the people, taking into account the condition at the time, and you go on and on and on. That question was raised, and obviously it was raised by FAST to try and discredit what we said. My response to it is, there is only one only way to find out whether a party can do what it wants, what it promises, and that is to look at their record. And that record stands, that what we promised to do in the past, we executed. Now, when the issue of the bridge came, my deputy who was announcing this mentioned perhaps by the year 2035, we might fulfill that promise. And then another of my colleagues said, you will get your COLA, which is a cost of living allowance initiative. I said, one of our colleagues mentioned you will get your COLA in October. Now, I need to put in perspective these things because you tend to think about what people say, which is a bit out of reality. Some are saying this will be a great Christmas present. Now, we will have the election on 29th of August. It takes us 6 weeks to complete everything. So that means August, September, October. Then we meet in Parliament in October to swear the new government in October. It may take 3 months, 3 weeks to prepare the budget by the new government. So we are talking about November. The budget will then go in to the Public Council Committee. After 14 days, it comes back. And then we start debate. That debate involves 50-odd speeches, very long speeches. And then we pass the budget. And after passing the budget, we will sit down and begin to activate. So we see that from the moment of the of the government being sworn in, probably September, October, November, December. We are probably looking at December, when the last month, and we know we can do these things because we calculated our numbers. The other guys don't even look, they just pick a figure from the air and have no relationship to the monies available. If you note that we specify the exact amount. Why? Because we already know from the statistics the number of people that would be entitled to this and that. So we know exactly the amount that would be involved. That is why we specify the money and relate it to the $1 billion of revenue. These things can be done. And then I said, as to the bridge in Hawaii, I want to let you know that the distance from here is 13 miles. From Apolima to Hawaii, probably 8 miles. There are bridges in China over 40 miles. So with the change of technology and with our friends that we are going to talk to, nothing is impossible.
So are you confirming with us that China is a potential donor for this bridge, Honourable?
We are telling our friends, all our friends, including America, Japan, to always remember that these small islands, we have nothing, very little to live on. And if the climate change does take place, you are going to give us land to live on. Whether it is Australia, New Zealand, you can't avoid us coming to you. So, please remember, your geopolitical, economic, social, and political issues are no concerns of ours. They are never our concerns. Why should we be? Our only concern is the wish to provide food for our people, and probably only a couple of spades to grow some banana trees. That's all our need. And so, we like you all to be our friends. You and your friends, we like you all to be our friends. But your enemies are not our enemies.
What do you see as the most pressing issue facing Samoa over the next political term?
The most pressing, the most important issue is to get political, honest leaders that love this country and possess the leadership, honesty, and love to treat everybody the same in their policies, and to do away with policies that are creating animosity between brothers and sisters, between preachers of the Bible, between communities, as it has happened over the last 3.5 years of the custodianship by the present administration. It is the most drastic need We cannot endure the same people running this country. Everyone knows that for the first time, Samoans who have been very friendly and close are fighting each other, creating animosities between brothers and brothers because of what this one person, Lauli, has done, trying to create classes, differences between people, and telling fantastic stories to picture the HRPP as bad people.
Misinformation around politics is a big issue in Samoa. And many have told us they're confused about the information in terms of trying to figure out who's telling the truth, who's telling the facts. Now, if re-elected, how can you counter the misinformation around politics in Samoa?
We have had some thoughts on this, and we are looking at what New Zealand is doing because they too are actively looking at this, and also what Australia is doing. So Fiame is raising the issue of freedom of speech and the rights of the individuals. What Whalatai is raising, let us go back to tradition. No village, no member of parliament or party should interfere with the freedom of the district to decide they have their own decision making. What is funny, Fiame is pointing her finger at Whalatai, but she never mentioned that her district has issued an order that her colleague, Lauli, is banned from entering her village. So I am finding this kind of leadership issue very strange from Fast Party. We have a kind of overall view. The major drive for us is to restore the confidence of the international community to the leadership of Samoa, to restore the stability of our country, of Samoa, that Samoa was well known of in the whole of the Pacific. And thirdly, to restore the peace of our people that was well known during our leadership. That's what we want to do. I'm old. I have spent 55 years of my life since I came back from New Zealand. And I had worked in the Treasury Ministry and providing written advices to Cabinet, to all the Prime Ministers before me, before I became Prime Minister myself. So I know all the decisions, all the major policy decisions, right from the beginning when Samoa was established.
Oh, and with that, we wrap up this interview for Tala Valaua Fionga. We're giving us the opportunity to share your side and also the party's vision for the future.
Yeah, okay.
Tala Valaua Fionga.